this episode is really good. Because things need to bump up, right? Please be advised that there are spoilers ahead related to the property being watched and/or discussed in this video. And please note, this reaction does not contain a picture-in-picture view with the audio from the episode. Instead, this video is designed as a watch-along style. Click on the link displayed on your screen to find out about 3 easy ways to watch this episode with me using your own devices. Hello! Welcome back to my channel and thank you for tuning in. This is Asha Media TV, and if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is my tiny little channel where I like to watch, react, and somewhat review a small collection of stuff related to sci-fi, fantasy, and comic books. So, in today's video, I'm going to be catching up with episode 6 of Apple TV's Foundation series titled Death and the Maiden. So if you are going to watch along with me, let's get ready to count down to play. If not, feel free, of course, to skip on over to the review/afterthoughts portion of this video, but I'm going to go and watch this episode right now. Okay, party people, are you ready? So I'm at 125. I've skipped over the intro. I've skipped everything. All right, we're going to start from the beginning of the episode. Let's count down, starting at 3, 2, 1. Make sure I'm situated properly. Sorry. All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Yay! Back to the Empire stuff. Whoa. Those droids are creepy looking, but creepy cool. So I guess that's his first time doing this shit, because he seems kind of fish out of water kind of thing. Lead pace. Until now. Yeah. Thus begins the crumble. To be fair, one of the main draws for me to even watch this show was Lee Pace. Not only because he's a brilliant actor, but he's also attractive. Fixing her face? Yeah. Morning maintenance. Spacers, right. And Gail can. Huh, interesting. Ah, Leviathan, that word is everywhere. Okay. Luminism. Death and the Maiden. Ooh, that's quite a long time. He's got his work cut out for him. Ish. Oh my god. Really? Isn't she programmed with a purpose? Yeah. Are you? Uh, isn't this not a conflict of interest though here? Salt Palace. Because didn't they say in the last time we saw them, right? They said that this religion didn't believe in the Empire because of their cloning system. So if Demerzel is part of this religion, does that mean she shares their belief in secret? But yet she's in service to this empire? Okay. Insight or like possible tool for your downfall here. What if she has. She could be like a covert operative, right? For the Luminous Faith? I know probably not because she's been in service to them for a gazillion years, but you never know. I could see them making that somewhat of a plot thing. What the hell is this? That is rude. This is the, like, Empire. Yes? Okay. Yeah, of course. Sip on it first. Show it's not poison. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. This is rude, though, still. Oh.
Yeah. Don't you? I mean, can you blame him? All right, that's already a first insult, the way they greeted him. Well, in my opinion. Hmm. If there's anything I like about the show a lot for my own personal thing is that I'm using it as a training tool to pay more attention to details. Ugh, these punks. Army of assholes shooting up people for no. I was gonna say for no good reason, but they got their reasons. Little boy, you're alive. You better keep running. Run and hide. Play dead, play dead. Well, I guess he has no choice. I think he's knocked out, yeah. These kids better survive. They were the same kids from the first episode, right? Salvor looks comfortable. Okay. Invictus. I'm always fascinated with the languages they make up in shows. Like I wonder what the basis of our language they kind of work from, you know? These kids are brave. Whatever they're gonna do. Yeah, duh. Plans upon plans. Okay. Whoa! What a brave fucking kid! Kid just took out a grown-up warrior. Okay. I'll buy it just because I want some of this fun right now. The Empire is gonna have to intervene at some point in all this, right? It's probably what they want. Does it still now lie with the Foundation? They're taking quite a risk if you think about it. Because one of these people, if they do get on this ship or whatever, could, like, try to sabotage their plans and, you know, kill themselves for the greater good kind of thing. Boy's got a crush indeed. Let's make sure nobody's watching, right? There's people all around. Poor woman is scared shitless. Oh. They're gonna shoot them, okay. By shooting a bunch of birds or whatever creature that is. Nope, he saw one. The young always think they know everything. Their guns are cool. Like, or their shotguns. Wow, these kids saved her. Hmm. The convenient tools of these kids. Oh, shit. Oh. I was like, those poor kids are gonna get... Oh, Hugo is alive. Okay, good. A planet killer. Wow, such conviction now all of a sudden, huh? Harry put me here to do this. Like, it implies Harry predicted her. Well, I guess that's kind of what the debate is, right? The anomaly, as I keep mentioning, that Harry has to account for. Mm-hmm. Fashion in this is so fun to watch. In a less desirable fashion. And they panned over to that black woman, Halima. Ah, that's a good offer. They'll be forever in their debt. Okay. All right. Well, that little side eye moment. Obviously, something's gonna happen with those two. That's like for every civilization, though. Yeah, too much info there. What man hasn't done things for the love of a woman? What are they doing? They are really just on a mission for real. Okay, well, with those lines, that's foreshadowing something's gonna happen with the dad. I watch way too much TV. Some stuff are just. There's a structure. Did they eat these after? Yeah, make some kind of soup. Oh? That's it? Okay. Aw, to not. Okay, not to make him feel bad, I guess. And to show that he's a better hunter and stuff. It's pretty. Nice layout here. Oh. An outdoor brothel? uh, they wipe their memories. Hmm. Yeah, and he picked someone that looked a lot like the gardener girl. Is he gonna like imagine the garden lady? Whoa! Mm. Oh, smart way to spy on him. Oh no. So Dusk is going to catch on to stuff with the Dawn kid. Okay. Back and forth with different narratives. Sometimes it's a little much for me to keep up with. Oh shit, what's happening here? What? She's like in the middle of, she's on the floor, man. She's seeing all this? Wow. Okay. Well, at least I get to see how they set this shit up. How is Salvor seeing this? And Gail had a feeling at the time this happened. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. No. Salvor is Gail's daughter. My theory I had in my last reaction video, it stands. That's insane. I want to pause, but I can't. I'm kind of on a crunch time to record this reaction here. Her dad's gonna die. I know it. They're gonna shoot him. Oh man. He's a goner. They gotta get him right at a crucial point here. Obviously, yeah. Yeah, he's gonna make it right there and kablooey! The setup for this was well done. For my simple mind to catch on. I'm wondering if they're gonna do it in slow-mo? Oh, that's a great shot. With the tear? Oh. Well done. Nice setup. Everything. Come on over. Oh, like really? She's right in his room. Oh, he better not do something stupid here. No thanks. She could be afraid of heights. Oh, let me just give you mine. Okay, alright. I'm officially buying that he likes her and this is a forbidden romance. I wonder who's gonna find the bracelet. Why? He can't see the color? Huh. Okay. You sure about that? Okay, that's his way of saying that he is colorblind. Genetic defect? That's a lot of trust in her. Considering, security and shit, I can't help but wonder, how's there no one seeing this? Right? Like, even one security guard looking up with binoculars, This guy. He looks the same. Like, I just realized he was the guy at the beginning from, like, years ago. So is he like Demerzel? But she said she's the last of her kind. Unless they're trying to make him where he doesn't age as fast. Maybe. I don't know. It's weird. What the? Whoa. Okay, so. I don't even know what to say about that. He took up those dead birds and he cloaked himself somehow. Well, obviously that's what she said before, right? He's counting on her. Mm. Okay. I'm gonna have to rewatch this episode. A lot of details. He's pretty much bought his he's bought his allegiance. Or their allegiance to him, you know. I guess she's not supposed to be there doing that. Oh, she's like straight up interrupting the process here? Okay, yeah, she's declaring her defiance here. How? Look at the conflict in Demerzel here. Okay, well, yeah, this is a shit show for the Empire. Oh, Kate, yo, no, no, she's gotta go. That's she's like literally aligned herself against you now. Oh my gosh. Okay, wow. Oh. He won't. Sweet. And he's willing to risk his life for her that way. There you go, you go. Nice. I like that. Sticks and stones. Mm. Okay, okay. Oh, she doesn't know. Is that the last time she'll see them? That's going to be a mystery unto itself. I hope she gets flinged around. Maybe Hugo is that person after all, and not necessarily Salvor. You know, could be somewhat of a subversion. My wheels are turning round and round. I'll see you again later, Volt. When it's gonna matter. The season finale, perhaps? Okay, yeah. Alright, that's a wrap on that. Woo-wee. Okay, so I'm gonna have to spend a few minutes working out my nap meter. My thoughts coming up. Okay, so well, a couple of things I'm going to bring up first before I get into some of my afterthoughts about this episode. Number one, it's been brought to my attention by one of my club members that the show has completely deviated from the books, which I haven't read, to the degree that the show apparently is no longer much reflective of any of the books. Which now leads me, of course, to change up my pinned comment that I put in my videos, where I'm like, feel free to talk about book spoilers if it's related to the episode. So, in essence, it seems as if Apple has decided to use the Foundation books as a literal foundation to work on top of and not necessarily source from. So, I can't imagine how that creates such, well, I can't imagine it because I'm a fan of other book series and I know the division that it can create whenever adaptations aren't faithful or even like completely off, from the source material. So, that leaves me in an interesting position where it's like, okay, well, if it's no longer much related to the books so far, as it's been verbalized to me by book fans, then this is really a show unto itself that you're either going to like and appreciate for what they're showing and, what they're of, or you're just going to be like, they're not following the books, I don't care for the show, blah, 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 right? So I don't fall into that second part of things. I'm just a TV viewer, and what I've seen so far intrigues me, and it has my attention, and that's all, right? So, in my pinned comment section from now on, it's pretty much going to be what were moments from this episode you appreciated, regardless if you're a fan of the books or not. All right, so let's talk about episode 6, and I'm going to go with my nap meter system. And if you're new here, my nap meter system is my own little personal thing to help me break down aspects of the episode and help me, articulate as clearly as possible what I think about certain things. So NAP stands for narrative, action, and pacing. So when it comes to narrative, my first question is, was there details that moved the story forward? Hell yeah, there were a lot of details. In fact, almost too much for me to keep up with. But in essence, I think that's the point with this kind of show, because it gets you wanting to pause and rewind and double check on something and rewatch, right? So I understand that it's just for me, for a person who has a time constraint when it comes to watching and reacting to stuff, it can be somewhat of a nuisance. So yes, a lot of details we learned about Brother Don and his colorblind situation, which I find very interesting, and the fact that he's able to hunt really well, a lot better than Brother Dusk, who's now suspicious of him because of the fact that he didn't sleep with a woman that he sent to his, for those purposes. Anyway, there's a lot going on there, a lot of drama and romance, which I was kind of like on a fence with, because I don't know, like they made Brother Don seem like very much an unpredictable factor. I mean, the last episode we saw him jump off to his somewhat demise, but obviously that didn't happen. And so I don't know what to expect with that character, okay? But I think it's fair to say that in this episode, it's quite clear there is a forbidden romance, and I can see them now making that somewhat the main issue that will create a division or conflict between him and Brother Dusk, because likely Brother Dusk will find out about it, right? Okay, so yeah, that part of the narrative moved forward. What was happening on Terminus? Well, a lot of stuff. Salvor's dad sacrificing himself for the greater good, which the foreshadowing of that, the setup for that was so well done. I was very impressed with that. What else did we have? Of course, Brother Day. I'll touch on that for my next question, third question, okay? So yeah, answer to that question is a yes, big yes. Second question, was there a new development for at least one of the characters? Brother Don, I would say, had the most development because we learned more details about him, okay? And now let's talk about probably the most confusing aspect of the episode for me on my first watch, where I'm going to have to go and watch a bunch of breakdown videos, which I'll put in the description box below as reference for you if you want to go read those or watch those as well. All right, so Raish. So Salvor, when it had a vision in mid-battle, so to speak, as Gale, when she saw Raish supposedly stab Harry. And so I like how through Salvor's eyes we saw what the conversation was. And everything was riding on Raish, but then it ended up being Gale. But what I'm focused on is not necessarily those details, although I'm really happy that they showed that for us as viewers to know what the fuck happened. But it leads to my theory that I mentioned a couple reactions ago, that Salvor is definitely Gale's daughter. And if we go back to the episode where Gale was preggers, right, and she stored her zygote, I had said in my previous reaction, if you haven't watched it, my theory was that Salvor's mom, for whatever reasons we'll likely find out about later, got that zygote and had Salvor and raised Salvor believing that she was, her genetic child, but she likely isn't. And I could see that being some big secret reveal. Because how else can you account for her having that very specific connection? It's just, it doesn't make any sense. And in terms of structure of a story that with some logic, why would they put that focus on those scenes of Gale storing away her zygote? Okay? I know there's going to be a whole story with the mom in that. I just know it. So, if I believe my own theory, which I do, and if you go along with it, that leads to me to kind of wonder about the mysticism of this, where Salvor has this ability to see to that degree at any given moment. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I'm going to kind of leave it there before I trip up myself with what I'm trying to convey here. But it's definitely gotten my attention, for sure. Okay. Now, my last question in terms of the narrative, did the events in this episode add more insight to events or situations that occurred in previous episodes? Hell yes! And let's now talk about Brother Day and this situation now with that Faith and Demerzel. If you watch my reaction, Demerzel is an issue, in my opinion, from what I've perceived thus far from my first watch, okay? Demerzel is an android, a robot. She believes in a religion. And in this episode, I just found it interesting that this is a religion that does not agree with the cloning program, and yet she's programmed to be loyal to the Empire. It's a conflict of interest, really. Because her bowing down at the end is pretty much saying, I agree that the cloning program is not good, and if I were Brother Day, I would take that as, okay, Demerzel's gotta go. It's a conflict of interest. Either they find a way to reprogram her or something, I don't know. But the divide is very clear. And the drama of all of that, I love it. Like, whether it's related to the books or not, I'm officially a fan of this show for the intricacies of stuff they're trying to show. So in terms of narrative, it's a yes to all my 3 top questions. Okay, now, action. Was there very little, just the right amount, or a little bit too much? I think the action was just perfect. What was going on Terminus, it laid itself out. I have no problems with that, so that's my answer to that question. Now, when it comes to the pacing, I didn't like how fast it was on Terminus. Even though there was a perfect amount of action, the actions in and of itself moved way too fast. We went from them trying to destroy Terminus or some parts of it to now this Invictus ship. Like, it just was too for me. Where you're forcing me as a viewer to have to go and rewind and double check on what was said and what was this and what was that. So for me, the pacing was like borderline steady to too fast. Okay? That's just for me. So my nap meter overall is a 4 out of 5 because I think they could have slowed things down a little bit better with the pacing on Terminus. But when it comes to the narrative of what was happening overall in this episode, I very much enjoyed it. And so I'm officially a fan of this show. I really do want to see what's going to happen. I want to see if my theory about Gale and Salvor pans out, because I know it's something along those lines. I may not get it accurately. So let me know in the comments, what are your theories about Gale and Salvor based on watching what happened to Salvor in this episode? And when it comes to Harry and his formulations and his calculations of who can play what role, because he can't determine individual actions, right? But he can account for them in them playing some part. And I said in my reaction, if you're watching it, that maybe who we think are part of the solution may not necessarily be the case. Maybe they're setting us up to think it's Salvor, but it could be Hugo. Because I felt Hugo, him making the decision he did with that ship and putting it under the control of Salvor, it kind of shifted things. So anyway, everybody's going to be cooperative components really to a central plot. So I'm just kind of babbling a little bit of that stuff, just for the sake of, because of the fact I'm a babbler. Yeah, so there you have it. That's my reaction, some of my key afterthoughts about this episode. I am enjoying it, and if you are, I really want to hear your perspective, your point of view about what you think this show is doing good and what you're disappointed with. I know some people may find the pacing a bit too on the slow end, but I guess it depends on what you're interested in. I'm interested in what's happening to these characters. Now, if I had to be really picky about what narrative I'm more interested over others, I would say what's happening with the Empire is more, for me, it's more fascinating than what's happening on Terminus. Like right now, if I had to cut out a narrative, it would be what was happening on Terminus. And I'd be fine with just the story about this Empire that is likely going to fall, and we just watch the different pieces involved in that, that fall. But the whole thing with the Anacreons and their extra plans upon plans upon plans, and Salvor and the Vault, I don't know. It's like I'm in it and I'm out of it at the same time, because I almost feel like they're trying to make it way too complicated than it needs to be, way too convoluted, for trying to appeal to a mass audience. So we'll see. Overall, as I just said, I'm cool with the series, but I do hope in episodes 7, 8, 9, and 10, they really start to simplify things a bit more, reveal more things, and stop playing this mystery game down to the last minute, because I think now it's just getting way too complicated. And I could see someone who's not into science fiction, or perhaps who is taking a chance on watching this show that is now deviated apparently completely from the books. I could see them being frustrated to not even care, if things just get way too wrapped up into too many things. I could understand that, but for me personally, I have a leap of faith that the series might actually turn out to be pretty good by the end. I mean, it's the first season, and first seasons of shows, it's a given. They do focus a lot on the world building of stuff and getting characters set in place for us as viewers to either attach ourselves with or completely not care for. And then when season 2 comes around, I find that's when things really start to do really well. And speaking of season 2, apparently it's been announced that season 2 has a green light going. So for me personally, it's a relief to know that there's going to be a season 2, so that I feel that my investment in season 1 won't be, complete waste, assuming that they have a really good season finale cliffhanger. In any case, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I look forward to sharing my reaction to episode 7 next week. So until then, I'm tuning out. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos and subscribe. You know you wanna.